Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Truth of the Matter. I am your host, Charmaine the Goddess, and today I have a very special guest with me, y'all. I have a spiritual life coach, Reiki master, intuitive card reader, master sound and energy healer, ordained minister, mom, and author of several books, including The Truth About Fairies, A Soul Remembered Guide, and The White Witch's Guide to Ceremonies, Practical Magic for the Modern Witch, Miss Shannon Burks. Thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us and being here today. Tell us a little bit about you, your philosophy, your beliefs. Tell us who Shannon Burks is.
Well, thank you for having me. I started this journey about 10 years ago, and it's always a work in progress. The information that we receive and filter through and try to sift through the truth. And so that's why I started writing books to try to dispel some of the misinformation that is out there. We have gone upon these old belief systems and things that were set up many, many years ago, and they really don't apply to the modern day. Nobody has time to do a 4-hour ritual. You know what I mean? So, my whole point is to make things practical so that anybody can do them anytime, and also to remind people about their connection to our planet and the animals and how important they are and the relationship between all of those things are, because they really matter, and most people think it's most made up fairy tale concept.
Yeah, so exactly, most people think it's fairy tale stuff. So of all the books in the world that you could have written, what inspired you to write a book about the truth about fairies?
Well, I remember several of my lifetimes as an elemental. They weren't all fairies and they weren't all pixies. There are many different elementals, as my book explains, and different ways that they can incarnate. But I have personally always been connected to the elementals in all of my lifetimes here on this planet. And so I remember it took years for me to recall enough information to put in a book. I had to keep raising my vibration to get more information, and it didn't just come like that overnight.
Right. So you said that not all of your lifetimes were you a fairy. Tell us a bit about the other elementals outside of fairies.
You can be the wind. People have been tornadoes. They could be the spirit within a hurricane. Yes, you could be a tree spirit. You could be a water spirit. I mean, there's so many different elementals. And like I say in the book, all fairies are elementals. Not all elementals are fairies. They can manifest in different ways. Whatever is necessary at that time and that soul or spirit chooses to come in to assist in that manner.
See, I've heard of being like a mermaid or like a gnome or something, but I had no idea that you could be a tornado or a hurricane. Like that has a spirit as well.
It has a spirit, but it also is a collection of spirits and consciousness of elementals. You can't just have one little elemental controlling or trying to assist with hurricanes and things like that. It is a big consciousness of them.
Okay, so it's a collective consciousness.
Yes.
Okay, you already taught me something that I had never known before. So would you say we are currently coexisting with different elementals? Like, can I go out for a walk in the woods and call in a fairy?
Yes. However, there are some parameters. First, you must be at a pretty good high vibration because when we see things that are out of our regular reality or 3D, it causes fear. and they will not show themselves to you in that way because they're not here to do that. So you can probably the easiest way when you first start trying to make contact is to just let your vision soften. Don't look for anything. See what moves in the corner of your eye or in your peripheral and things like that. The more you attune in and you are still and you listen and you just be, then you will see them more. And some people are actually very gifted at that. They can see through the veil. They can see other things. I can see three auras sometimes, not all the time. I guess when I, but children can see fairies quite easily if you encourage them. Because I remember as a kid that I saw them, and people told me that that was not true, and they always thought that I was just making up business. And so then when you're taught that something's not real, you don't want to be made fun of or judged. So you from that, and what it does is it to who we really are in our connection to the planet.
So would you say the way that you said that you were able to write this book, it's a remembered guide. So this is something that you remember. For those who feel deeply connected to the elementals or the elements, is it possible for them to recall their lifetimes as elementals? And if so, how can they do that? How can they begin that process?
So everything is possible. However, I will say that if it is not in their highest good to remember those lifetimes, or they're not necessary for their life map or what is happening in this lifetime, they're not going to get a lot of information. But if it's something that they need to remember in this lifetime, yes, it will absolutely come through meditation, through releasing judgments, being out in nature, consciously working on your vibration, then yes, all of those things help you get there.
So this wouldn't be something to do just for fun. Like, oh, I just want to connect to a fairy right now. This wouldn't be something to do just for fun.
No.
Okay, so what are the roles? What roles do elementals play in our reality today?
Pretty much we wouldn't be here without the elementals.
Break it down for us.
Within the human physical being, we are created of all of the elements. So we are the same as Mother Earth, the heavens, whatever you want to call all of those things, dirt, rocks, animals. And
I was asking what role they play. Like, why are they relevant to us humans having this human experience?
Oh, I apologize. The answer for that is very simple. They keep balance. The whole purpose of the elementals, and that's why they will go into certain places. If there's energy in a forest where the energy is stagnant, they will go in and lift up that energy. Because there must be balance. You can't have too much of one thing and not enough of another. That's what happens on the planet when we get out of balance. And the fairies are working their asses off to try to always balance what's going on.
So with them working so hard, is there like, do they need our help? And if so, how can we be of assistance to them?
Yes. Oh, the biggest thing they wish for people is to remember their connection to them and to the planet, and that we don't live on planet Earth, we work with planet Earth. And it is the same thing with the animals and the elementals. Whether you have pets or not, these animals are still your partner, and they don't work for you and you don't work for them. They work in partnership.
So can an elemental be somebody's guide? You know how everybody's always talking about, oh, I have a guide and she's a fairy, and I have a guide and she's this. Is that a thing?
The simple answer is it is all source.
Okay.
Every guide we have is still coming from source. So if you choose to say the Pleiadians are talking to me, or the fairies are talking to me, or I have a Native American ancestor guide, That's okay because that's how it's manifesting to you and how you see it. And it's always your guides, the high powers are going to use things that uh, will come easier to you as information. You ever seen
Okay.
angel people? Then
Not
there's
an angel
me
person.
who are fairy people. So, but yeah, in my mind, I can see my elementals are telling me this. Sources telling them. So
Right,
it's
right,
all
right. So
source.
it's all source.
Yes.
So
So
do they want our help?
yes, they want us
How can we
to
help?
walk on our planet with reverence and appreciate
Mhm.
what we have and the beauty of what we have and take care of it and respect it because we don't tend to do that. We tend to tear everything up and dig and dig and dig. We need to do so consciously because when we tear up large things on this planet, the elementals have to work really, really, really hard to counteract the imbalance we just created in the ecosystem, in the energy, in the matrix, all of those things.
Mm. So would you say every element has elementals that work to keep that element in balance?
Yes,
Okay.
lots of
So
lots of
so
different elementals working together.
tell us about a few. What what
Well,
what are what are the ones that are known to us right now?
oh well, let's see. Let me tell you this: the hybrids are cool because you can have a half Earth and a half water elemental, and you can have hybrids of these things, and all of it really is in your mind. Don't picture Tinkerbell. Picture frequency
Okay.
wave. And so a hybrid would be two different frequency waves that would come together to work in a spot where they would need to be both instead of just the wind or just the water. So
Okay.
that's all in the
So
book
we
too.
right, we have hybrid elementals. Okay. We learned a lot today. Thank you for Shannon for teaching the kids. So, for anyone out there who feels drawn to working with the elementals or who feels drawn to nature, period, what is the main thing that you would leave them with as far as working with the elementals to assist them?
I would say that you have to do it with a pure heart. Your intention is everything when trying to work with the elementals. Like I said, they have a very, very serious, hard job on this planet. And they don't have time for nonsense, and they're not going to show up just because you think it's cool if you can see a fairy. That's not how it's going to work. You have to be sincere about really wishing to assist them and the environment. And show love, appreciation, take care of your gardens, take care of your plants, plant some flowers if you want them around. The more flowers and plants you have around, the more fairies there that will be there.
So, you know how people say, and this is just something that I'm curious about. You know how people say fairies can be mischievous? Do you find that to be true?
So when I first started writing this book 4 or 5 years ago, that used to really make me mad.
Oh,
I used to take offense to that because I was like,
really?
that's not true. Like, so the way I can explain it is that anytime anything happens to somebody in history, they always got to blame somebody.
Mm-hmm.
The way elemental karma works, the humans at that time did not understand that what they did to the land or their crops or to other people or whatever caused the fairies to withdraw and pull back their land. And so they were not assisting. The crops were not growing as well. Their fields were getting flooded. Again, the fairies were not there to keep balance. So they didn't understand those things. So of course the fairies curse them and they're mischievous and they're mean and they don't have the capacity to do that because their frequency is harmony and balance. So no, they're not mean. They're not
Okay.
low vibrational. They're not trying to turn on you and teach you a lesson. No, what's happening is that we are receiving the brunt end of what happens when we disrespect them in the land and they pull away from us. And people always felt like that was punishment.
So, unlike the angels who are team us, the elementals are saying, I don't work for you, and put
They,
some respect
they
on
do
our
not work
names.
for us at all.
Okay.
The angels are here to assist us, and the elementals are here to assist the plants, animals, and Mother Earth. They don't work for us.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think you just cleared that up because that has been a long standing mistruth.
Yes.
And the truth of the matter is, they are not mischievous. They are not out here just messing with people for no reason or being mean. Okay. We got that clear.
And think about how powerful they are. Think about the elements that it takes to cause these earthquakes and these volcanoes and these hurricanes and these tornadoes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy to me that people even think that it's fantasy or they're Tinkerbell flying around or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because very, very powerful.
So I feel like you cleared up a lot of misinformation about the elementals and the elements and how they really do support us, because some people will think this is fantasy and they have no relevance to us living on earth, but they literally are the reason that we are able to live on earth in harmonic balance. I do want to shift into your second book, The White Witch's Guide to Ceremonies, Practical Magic for the Modern Witch. Um, what in the world is a white witch?
So a white witch is a spirit who has come into the female or male form and has chosen to be a witch in at least 3 lifetimes minimum. And it is an extension of the female. We're not better than anybody else. We're not less than anybody else. White witches remember that all things require balance. When there is dark, there needs to be light. That we work in tandem with Mother Earth and the animals and nature and the plants, not separate from them. And we remember that all is one. And that's really all it is. They're just natural healers that throughout time have come to this planet to assist. And we have been misunderstood. And it didn't go well.
Some people, even if they are by definition a white witch, they find a negative connotation to the word witch.
Well, it has been vilified from every religion that there is since I don't even know how long. And so when you are fed that throughout generations and hundreds of years, then it's almost cellular debris.
Mm.
And you have to remove that and you have to be open-minded. For me, it was easy because the second I remembered, I was like, oh, that's me. Other people longer, some people say, oh yeah, they're not. They come back later. And it comes to people at different times in their life when they're ready.
Okay. What can anybody, are there like, I know you just said the 3 lifetimes, but is that possible for anybody? Can anybody be a white witch? Will
No.
everyone eventually be a white witch?
No, right now I believe there's about 1.3 million of us on planet Earth. And that is because their spirits chose to come in and do that. So no, not everybody is a white witch. This is not something that you can just pick up. Now, you can learn how to do alchemy and magic on your own. Anybody can do that.
But that won't make you a white witch.
Right. It's something that your spirit chose to do in your incarnation.
So how can someone know if they are a white witch versus I just like magical stuff?
Well, there's lots of signs. The millennials all love Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, of course, me too, and I'm Gen X. If you love plants, if you love animals, there's so many ways to tell. And if they think they are, then they probably are.
Okay, so you just spoke about um alchemy and magic. What does that really mean? What is magic truly?
Magic is manifestation. It is creating. It is the art of changing um, a desire into a reality. It is the art of changing a chemical process also to manifest something. Like when you change gold to whatever, that's an alchemical process.
So how can
And
a white witch use magic to either assist other people or themselves? Like, is working with the elements a part of magic, or does it not have to be? How can white witches use their magic?
there is
Because
no
that's the
right or
book that we
wrong.
need from
Yeah,
you.
there is no right or wrong. You can do magic or you can do little candle spells, whatever you want to do. You don't have to use the elements. But yes, the white witch knows that we need the elements, we need the elementals, and we need Mother Earth. So, yes, I always call in all of those things anytime I'm doing any type of magic or manifest. That's really all it is. This crazy word, but it's really just creation. And we all do it all the time. Everybody's creating constantly what is in their life. They just don't think of it as being very magical.
Right, because they're so used to it. They're so used to doing magic on a daily basis, they don't even realize they're doing magic.
Yep. Totally not even aware that they are doing magic all the time. And oh, I want a cat. Next thing you know, they got a cat, right? Now, would they ever think that that was magic?
No.
But I tell you, it was because they set their intention and the energy followed the emotion. And that's exactly what they got.
Okay, they called it into being. They manifested it. So, what is your favorite example of magic? Like, what's your favorite way to use your magic as a white witch?
My favorite way is to send my magic outside of my being across the planet to endangered species and to places in the world that are suffering or there are natural disasters. And I always use it for trying to assist in healing the animals and
So,
also
could you?
also people. I always forget the people.
Could you use your magic to assist the elementals?
Yes. Absolutely. Large groups of us will come together and send assistance to the elementals, especially like during hurricanes, and ask it to assist them with buffering the winds or moving into a place where it will do the least amount of destruction.
Okay, so you can do that. I typically send my magic to the elementals and to Earth to assist it in healing itself and keeping it in balance. That's a part of my everyday prayer type of thing.
I love that. That's wonderful.
Can you share an example of white witch magic that you've witnessed or created?
Let's see what my favorite one is. You know, all things spiritual are simple, so I'm really gonna go with the full moon ceremony.
Okay.
I love it. It's easy. It's powerful. I feel it works every month. In releasing what no longer serves me and bringing in what I choose or what is appropriate for that month. And you can do it anywhere. It's not a long process like some of the other ceremonies. So I'd say that's probably my favorite.
That's probably my favorite too, because I used to hold on to everything for dear life for years and years and years, and now I'm like, release it all. Are ceremonies and rituals necessary to use magic or for white witches?
In some cases, because they do have power and we do have strength in numbers. And to have an intentional, clear what you're saying and what you're invoking can help. Does it need to be some long ritual that this talk and mumble in it? No. I
So
mean,
something simple will suffice as long as the intention is pure.
yes.
Okay. Which ceremony from your book is your favorite one?
Oh, I would have to say Litha because that's my birthday. The summer solstice.
Is that a Cancer?
Well, I'm a Gemini. I'm on the Cancer cusp. I'm on the 21st, so I'm right in between the two, but I'm a Gemini.
Okay.
But that's why I'm not totally crazy.
That's why you're not totally crazy, but it's a little bit.
A little bit.
What is the biggest takeaway that you want readers to take from your book?
There is not a right or a wrong way to practice magic or to do your witchcraft. However, there are higher vibrational ways and lower vibrational ways to do it. And so I ask that they get the book and they follow it because this information came straight from source. And I know it to be 100% truth in this book as opposed to the truth about experiences in past lives. The White Witch's Guide ceremonies is your truth, and you cannot go wrong using it. That it's a safe place to practice without having to worry about anything coming back on you.
So this question just popped into my head, and I'm gonna ask you because I know somebody out there is going to want to know this question, this answer. If there is a white witch, is there a such thing as a black witch? And does it mean the opposite of a white witch? Or would that just be high vibrational and low vibrational?
There is no such thing as black magic. I hate to disappoint a lot of people on this planet who think they're practicing black magic. There's no such thing. There's higher vibrational magic and there's lower vibrational magic. And doing one, you will receive consequences you're not prepared for. And doing the other, you will receive rewards from the universe. They can call it whatever they want, but there's no such thing.
And one more question for you, Shannon. Because I literally have been getting questions and requests for this for years. And I just got one this morning. And it's about love spells. Can you talk to the people about why they should or shouldn't, or why it is not in their best interest to do love spells on other people?
Well, that's a big no-no. White witches do not do things like that. Love spells, fighting spells, banishing spells. You are now impeding upon another person's freedom of choice. It is the law of this universe, a law of this planet, and you will get karma. It's going to come back on you. That is stepping outside our bounds of power, and we don't have the right to do that. Nobody has the right to do that. To make anybody feel any certain way that they normally don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to be back again. You'll be back again in another lifetime. Don't do it.
So y'all heard it. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It is not worth it.
Let that person who is for you, your soulmate, find you without you having to manipulate any energy around it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for this beautifully amazing interview. I am so glad that you sat down with me today because I learned something as soon as you opened your mouth and something else along the way. Tell the people how they can get in contact with you if they want to learn from you, if they want to work with you. Where can we find you?
You can reach me on my website, practicalmagicintuitivehealing.com, or you can reach me at Universal Gifts Healing Center in Hudson, Florida. Either way, my books are all on Amazon, and we can post the links below. And I'm not giving out my personal phone.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being here and I hope to see you again. The truth of the matter is, you are the magic, and your intention is one of the most powerful things that you will use. Remember, it is your right and your responsibility to create a life that you love, deserve, and desire. Until next time.